Hello, welcome back to Dark Souls 3, Part 5. I'm going to continue on with the Undead Settlement. Last part went through the Undead Settlement Part 1. Kind of showed off more of the easier path, I want to say, of the experience here. Early level, though, so it's not going to be anything too difficult to deal with. A couple of overwhelming scenarios. Things kind of make you think, like, oh, I don't know if I can play this game, but really it's not too bad. Popped around here, fought our first NPC encounter right here, and then we still need to befriend the giant from the tower so that we can stop the arrows from hitting us in the graveyard, making that exploration a little bit easier. Coming down here, you can see the rats. You want to get the drop on them. We'll be able to open this door, but we need the key first. Just go ahead and let him dive off the edge. You want to aggro these guys one at a time if you can. It's not the easiest thing to do, though, so we're going to shoot one. The second guy likes to kind of just come out of nowhere. I don't let him pop for this. Come on, man. And same as always with these guys, just kind of watch out for their frantic little swings they do. Good drop. Yep. Come on over, big bitch. Same thing, just kind of be cautious with them. Gotta get him behind this guy. We don't really want him to fall, though, because we're gonna go down to the area and we don't want him to be a problem later. Normally the dogs don't do that, so Take it. Must have heard the footsteps or something. Typically, you can ambush those two, but they had other ideas. Alluring skulls, nothing big, just items that make... As soon as you throw it, enemies will go around and chasing it, so you kind of bait them in different areas. It was useful for, like, one thing only in Dark Souls 1, but other than that, not the best use for those types of shits. Another NPC encounter.
Another one of those unkindled, are you? All you faceless undead, behaving as if you deserve respect. No matter. If you've any sense, you'll go find a coffin to huddle up inside. You here, in this land of hollows. You're like a frail maiden on the front lines. If, like the others, you're fool enough to play the champion, then go on ahead. Traipse right past the abandoned church. You'll face death. And it won't be pretty. Enough death to leave you broken. Time after time. If, like the others, you're fool enough, then go on ahead.
So, walking in here for more dialogue with him. You're going to see someone through the bars. Got to figure out how to open that up now.
You like poking around in cells, do you? How very genteel. Ah. Taking an interest in her, have you? Well, she's a lost cause. Couldn't even become a firekeeper. After I brought her all this way and got her all ready. She's beyond repair, I tell you. The woman's a lost cause. Couldn't even become a fire. She's beyond repair. The woman's a... She's...
He's pretty neat, right? And for that body right there, there's like a 50% chance that it will fall down here. So we're actually going to try to snipe it. See if we get lucky. If not, we'll grab it either way. Okay, so it decided to fall up there. Not bad. I think it's easier to do that anyway because that body likes to be very difficult once you get up there. Sometimes it falls.
Oh. Pardon me, I was absorbed in thought. I am Siegwart of Katarina. To be honest, I'm in a bit of a pickle. Have you ever walked near a white birch only to be struck by a great arrow? Well, if I'm not mistaken, they come from this tower. Whoever it is, I'm sure I can talk some sense into them. But I have to find a way up. This lift only goes down, you see, and... Well, that doesn't get me anywhere. This lift only goes with a little warming up. Eventually, I've got to use my head. This lift...
Another Knight of Katarina. So, Dark Souls 3 is a huge lover of the past. Likes to make a lot of cameo appearances and callbacks to the first game. Which is why I think 1 and 3 are probably more loved, because they're kind of conjoined, as where 2 was in a different state and made by a different person, even though 2 was still a really good game and will be hosted on the channel one day. So it's an elevator trick. You take it down first, and you're gonna kind of be figuring like, oh, what is this dude talking about? But I'm gonna show this real fast. So normally you won't come down here for a while, but we do have an interesting enemy that we kind of want to trick. These Knights of Ethereal are very difficult enemies to deal with naturally. They are going to probably get me a few times, especially with not being able to defend myself, but reading their movements naturally, parrying, and just kind of taking your shots as you can will defeat these dudes. Very weak to fire. They're ice-related enemies. So if you have a fire weapon, you should be able to deal with them pretty quickly. But for this specific dude, he can be kind of cheesed. So we'll show this. You can get a really good early game weapon. So we want him to kind of... There you go. And you can see how quick they are, so it's very, very dangerous. I just want to keep guiding him into the room. Go ahead and just take this elevator up. Ah, I got caught in the corner. Yeah, pretty funny, right? So, ethereal straight sword, new weapon. Yeah, that makes it too weak. It's an alright weapon. It's a straight sword that does the first bit of frostbite damage. New to Dark Souls was the frostbite introduction. And then carried over to Elden Ring for some pretty interesting builds, actually. Frostbite and Elden Ring is really good. I actually want to try a build one day of it. Coming out here, this is just a continuation path, so you just want to grab this so we'd have it for the future. But if you want to fight that guy straight up, I mean, use the pillars as cover. He glides around really fast, though, so his movements are a little sporadic to reach. It's only a difficult fight because of your HP at this point in the game. He can cut through it in like 4 or 5 swipes. And when you build up frostbite, it's even worse. So you get frostbitten and you take like 30% extra damage, but it's just an extra damage thing. So yeah, it's really bad. So Siegward is gone. All you got to do is just step on the elevator. Just kind of wait it out, and you'll see another platform. This is a elevator trick. So what you want to do is you actually want to ride this thing to the top first. And then if you come around the corner here, there's going to be a soul. Watch out for stepping on that, and then you will befriend the giant that was shooting arrows earlier.
Who are you? I help anytime. I help.
That's it. So, in order to skip all of that, if you want to, just choose the white tree branch at the start of the game as a starting gift, and you will have avoided all of this stuff. That's just the specialty branch that makes him a friend, and he's actually pretty useful for like 2 areas in the game. Then when you're riding down, kind of pan your camera to where the lantern is, jump down. You want to be topped off for this fight.
Oh, don't disappear like that. You had me... But thanks to you, an epiphany has struck me square in the head. I've unraveled the riddle of this inscrutable lift. On some days I begin to doubt myself. I went up the tower, so I thought, then somehow ended up here. Anyhow, do you see that? That humongous beast? I'm no coward and I've a steady hand, but that thing makes my skin crawl. How now? I could try talking some sense into him. No, I think not. He's far too overheated. I've got...
This is going to be a common theme with Siegward. He's just always going to have some funny dialogue. And as you can see, we have a terrifying looking demon enemy down there. So the only thing to do is to go fight it. Now, as soon as you jump down, you're going to make a commitment to do this. Use Siegward as a distraction. He will never die.
No! You should have waited!
Yep, run in circles around this guy. Hate when he gets to drop on me like that. And this is why I kind of advise against getting the fire gem at the starting gift, because you get one naturally from fighting this dude, and there's a chance that they drop off the regular villagers. So there's a good chance that you might end up with like 3 or 4 by the end of this entire route.
That was quite a performance. But you mustn't get in over your head. We unkindled must put up. But, for the moment...
And get you some sea growl.
To your valor, my sword, and our victory together. Long may the sun shine.
And then get you another gesture.
Well, I'm going to have myself a little nap. The only thing to do, really, after a nice toast.
Another gesture. And that's it. So he's just more of a gag character. They kind of took him straight from Demon Souls, of another knight that we meet in that game. Same old voicing and just a brute strength type character. Gotta love him. And just kind of check around the village. Large club. Clubs are pretty cool. Good for strength builds, obviously, but one of the most unparryable weapons in the game. If you're interested in the PvP aspect, there you go. I don't want to knock down these two. Get you some new equipment. This is a very heavy armor, so it's not going to be easy to kind of walk around with. A little bit lighter than the Lothric set, but if you're going to go into a medium role type of playthrough, then that's a great setup. It's just you're going to have to make sacrifices and probably use a dagger or something like that only. Because combined with any weapon at this point in the game, you don't have enough vitality. Your equipment load's going to just shoot over the roof. And I think if you go above 70%, you fat roll. It's a very short area here. Hardest thing was that demon dude. Just want to watch out for his when he drags that thing across the ground, kind of roll underneath his legs. First one I didn't get, and then I kind of let him take a wide swing at me. This is the trap room. You can tell these two are very different colored, so you want to, if you can, bring them down, but as soon as you go for the items, they'll drop. Kind of back out. Yep, watch out for the little poop flinging. Stuff will poison you. More of those. Those are really good to use on dogs. The dogs will go chase after them if they're giving you a lot of trouble, so you can get some clean hits on them. Speaking of dogs, here's one right here. Got another. So you stay topped off for this part. This can be kind of difficult. Not these guys, but what follows upstairs. You just really want to stay out of those dudes with like wonky hitboxes. It's kind of like the first time I've never seen them drop the souls for me. It's crazy. Yeah, so you get two of these. Fight them if you wish, but being where we are and getting where we're trying to get to, we're running out of flash, so you do want to manage yourself a little bit here. Only things that they really drop are their uniform and that giant thing that they use. So not really worth, in my opinion, trying to kill, because all you're going to do is just waste your time. And 10,000 souls on the line, just run all the way back here when we don't have a simple shortcut just yet. So I'll just go. Be careful, they can slap you through the wall, so you don't want to kind of antagonize them. Climb up here for Finn's ring. And then you're going to have a drop-off point. So just drop. You're going to lose some HP on both of these drops. Make sure you come around the corner for some bones. Nothing else in the back, so don't worry about it. This drop can kill you if you're not careful. So all you want to do is just kind of straight run off the edge. You don't want to jump, because jumping will twist the camera and fuck you up. And there you go. Then you get the mirror set, which if you play DS2, you know who that character is. And then the Chloranthy ring. Very good ring to have right now. Raises your stamina recovery speed, so we're going to make use of that pretty much the entire game for dexterity character that we're trying to build here. Come outside. Nothing in the back corner. Biggest reward was the Chloranthy ring, just so you know. That's why we take that route. Okay. Now, what you want to do here is you kind of want to make a safe, guided effort to get back to the bonfire, and then reset the lanes. You don't want to be caught out here with these dudes. Obviously, the most dangerous thing here is a dog. Run away. Now we're going to take this bonfire, so you have to be kind of careful here. We got a big guy in the way. You want to run past him. Watch out for those barrels. Take a wide berth. You don't want to get exploded. Drop down here. Watch out for the dudes. Come over this way and light this bonfire. Take a rest. Continue on. Nothing really should be very dangerous to this point to make you lose your souls, so just kind of play it smart. Grab some more Titanite shards. Okay. Then we are going to travel. We don't want to be stuck underneath here. No, actually we do. We can do this part. We'll do this part real quick. So just jump out the door, come over this way. This will be the shortcut run back over to the boss that's inside of that thing. But you want to shoot down this body. Grab you a weapon. Oh, okay. That is the partisan. More than anything, you just don't want to aggro too much shit. Partisan's a good weapon. I was kind of debating on using it for this run, but it seems more strengthy to me. A little bit shorter, but some good skills. I know a lot of people are fascinated with this thing. Has swipes. Something that the regular spirit does not have is regular swipes. That's okay. Come over here, kind of try to sneak one if you can. The other one will be easier to deal with. Gloves. Come around here for our hand axe. Pretty decent, fast one-handed weapon, and then an NPC.
Aha, unkindled, are we? Welcome to my abode. I am Cornix, an old pyromancer. A crow in his cage, as you see. But here we are. An encounter for the ages. I hear the unkindled make for fine vest. Care to learn some pyromancies from this old man?
You will learn pyromancies.
Most wise. A chance encounter should not be squandered. To reiterate, I am Cornix of the Great Swamp. The pleasure is mine.
Amazing. And then we are going to go meet him. But what you want to do is jump down here. Kind of take the safer paths not to lose HP. And we want to get a back attack on him. Now, you can't stab these guys in the back, unfortunately, so you'll just have to make do with this damage. Yeah, I was going to say, that pot smashes you to the ground. Okay. Come down the bridge here for another ring. Watch out for this guy. Okay. We're holding on to souls for a reason. We don't want to spend them all, so we actually want the key. Alright. We will approach that side when we are able to, and then cover that area. But what you need to do is now kind of plunge on this guy. And then travel to the bridge. Dilapidated vehicles. Because now that we have the giant friendly, we can travel through the graveyard without any issues now. I said before about the Undead Settlement, it's a really big exploration area. They took a lot of time for the intro areas, for sure. It's the rest of the game where it kind of deviates off. So, little backswing they like to do, that's the one that kills you. And go ahead and get up here. Then you'll see that the giant will start shooting at these guys. Boom. No longer taking aim at us. Go ahead and pick up all the items. Just keep it going. Go. Arrows of a giant rain down beside the white birch. That's your little hint. He's a guardian of the white birch trees. Lore reasoning. Just to read up on it. Make sure you get a good jump on this. You don't want to fall down the edge. This is your first instance of an undead bone shard. We'll show what those do. Gotta make sure you jump. Even though it's a ledge that you can drop off of, just be careful. We'd really suck to die from falling off the edge here. Then come over to the left path here. We haven't been able to explore this yet. And this. So anytime you see something that's large, like soul-wise like that, it's usually going to say that it's a pretty big item. Mortician's Ashes. So that's our first case of ashes. That's what we give to the Shrine Maiden. She was asking for those so she can give us new stuff. This is a trap. Just be aware. You can see the dude's already peering behind. He has a wonky hitbox. Sometimes he gets you there. He can pick you up an early cleric set. So if you don't want to play with the cleric, but you want to set, there you go. It's the earliest of the starting classes uniforms that you find. Let's be careful. Donked off the bat. Okay. Then you want to turn around. You want to do a jump. This will be another great dexterity weapon. That is the scythe. So obviously you can see very good at dex scaling there. It's pretty much what it's used for. And it has innate bleeding damage. So scythes, for being the type of weapons they are, wide swinging, heavy slam, bleed build material, unorthodox type of weapon, but make use of it. And then you should know that we are circling around and back, and that's really it for this part. So now what you need to do is head on back to Firelink, and then we can tackle more of this area. There's just a lot of twists and turns in Undead Settlement, so trying to do it at a decent pace to where everyone can kind of follow along and see what the hell's going on here. Take a lot of shortcut trips back over to the Firelink Dome. Not going to be any real new dialogue with these guys. They're kind of cashed out for now. We can check up here to see if Bloodborne dude showed up again. He sure did.
Well, hasn't it been some time? I'm Leonard, the Ringfinger. Remember me? I slipped you those red eyes some time ago. You're making quite an effort of it, so I thought you might like to know. If you yearn for a proper red-eye orb, one that is uncracked, then kill the Dark Wraith, survivor of the man swallowed by darkness. He has been a prisoner for many ages in the... I can see it in your eyes. If you didn't invade, didn't pillage... If you fancy a proper, then kill the...
Now, I don't know his triggers for that conversation, but feel free to dive into that as you need. I just always check up here to see, and then he gave us the key to that gate way back at the High Wall Lothric that we couldn't get into prior to meeting Greerat, and that's also another quest line we need to progress, is Greerat. Then he's just gonna have the same dialogue through and through, but he eventually dies out after a few bosses, so if you want to go with the Lord of Hollow ending, then draw out the true strength from him, take your 5 free levels as you get them, and go from there. But we will not be covering that, so unfortunately he will not make it. Now, Greerat was praying and sad because Loretta's news of her passing, kind of got to him, but now he's going to have new dialogue for us.
Ah, there you are. I was thinking, I'm a petty thief. Well, perhaps I'll go on the prowl. Everyone's dead or hollowed away anyway, right? So I might as well fetch some weapons or treasure for you. Well,
go ahead and send him.
thank you. You will not be disappointed. Greerat the Thief was once a well-known name until I ended up rotting in a cell. Greerat.
Go ahead and purchase whatever you might need from him because he's going to be gone for a little bit. So really nothing though I would suggest here. Maybe fire bombs at the least. But 7 should be enough.
Goodbye.
Dr. Andre?
Just wasn't he?
Reinforce whatever you might need. Didn't pick up a whole bunch of Titanite shards in that round, so you should already be at a +3 for your favorite weapon. Cornix down here is our Pyromancer. Kind of hard to see, so you want to really check.
There you are, unkindled one. I wish to express my gratitude for trusting a lowly pyromancer and allowing me to gaze upon this majestic flame. As promised, I will impart pyromancies to, but first, you'll need a flame. Careful you don't burn yourself with it. To learn pyromancies, you must vow to become my pupil. I know, but such is the way of the world. Respect your elders and so on. And pyromancy, of course. Oh, we'll need a pyromancy tome to learn more advanced pyromancies. Though unorthodox, that would be the most expedient way to make progress. If this were the Great Swamp, and you had the luxury of time, we could have trained you the hard way. To learn I know.
And that's his dialogue. Here you can learn pyromancies from him, obviously. So if you want to dabble in some fire spells, go ahead and do this. He gives you your pyromancy flame. Items you can buy are just his So if you want a little bit more armor and you're okay with medium rolling, then Pyromancy Garb is not too bad. You can reinforce your Pyromancy Flame using Titanite Shard, so kind of do what you need to do there. Obviously not for my build. I've done Pyromancy runs in all 3 games, so they're all really fun. Very, very fun. In this game, you gotta put a lot of points into Faith and Intelligence, though, for some of the spells. I think Faith is the highest, though, when it comes to like how much fire damage is actually rated. And then you equip that as normal. The Pyromancy Flame doesn't weigh anything, so it's just a good, like, if you're missing a slot and you want to fill them all up, just put it in there. Next up will be the Fireman.
Ah, well met. How may I be?
Go ahead and give her the Ember Ash.
Gracious. Passing fine. Let this ash. I only hope these new wares can...
And then every time we give her one, except for one, she'll have unique dialogue for just only one of them. We'll just pass through those because she's going to say the same thing over and over. And then with our new, we have the ability to buy the Grave Key. Key to a door in an Undead Settlement sewer. So there you go. So 1,500 over 20,000 is way better. So go ahead and purchase that. You're going to need it. If you haven't bought this yet, go ahead and do so. This is how you're going to be able to leave your summon sign. I would suggest buying a torch now while you have the souls, because we're going to need that for a future part. And that should be it. Yep. So not a whole lot from that. Go ahead and spend your souls as needed.
Very well, then taken.
Go ahead and plus up our vigor, more HP. 20 is a good baseline. Now you really kind of want to start pumping into your damage and endurance. Start getting your other little things up. So whatever damage thing you're using, either if it's quality, dexterity, or strength builds. If you have to, put points into intelligence as well. I think up to 10 or 12. Because we're going to need it for a future NPC conversation.
Farewell, Annie.
Coming up here, I'll tell you, Firelink it's always like a loop. Like same thing with the Bloodborne thing, it's just a loop around the entire area. And all we're doing is checking stuff. Okay. Then let's go ahead and head back over to the Undead Settlement. Burn your Undead Bone Shard here. This is the only place you can do it at, so the bonfire level is going to change. Bonfire level 2. All this does is that it's making our Estus flask a lot stronger. So it's going to heal us for more points. Because right now we're kind of outpacing our HP to how much we actually get filled in our Estus flask, which is never a good thing. Organize as you need to, but you want to travel back to the cliff or the Undead Settlement, because we're going to take on the other route. And then just for the sake of time, we'll cut it right here and start up a new fresh video so we can actually cover the right side without needing to rush through it, because there are some parts where you should approach it a little bit more cautiously. Alright, so thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next part.